everybody, welcome to another episode. I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
I'm Caleb.
And this is
Everybody in the Conference Room.
That's right. Welcome, guys, to another episode. As always, thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe and leave us that good 5-star on iTunes. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. The most tangible, helpful way to spread the word. It really does make a difference, and thank you to those of you who have been doing that. Make sure you check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/anofficepod. $3 a month gets you access to the after party at Poor Richard's. Tonight, sort of in honor of like last day at Scranton and Kelly signing the what is it, the staff directory.
Yep.
We're talking about like last day of work stories or last day of school stories, stuff like that. So come on over to Patreon, check that out. It's only $3 a month and some good laughs over there. And as always, speaking of Patreon, I want to say thanks to our $20 patron, assistant to the regional manager, Mr. Brian Cavazos.
Nice. Way to go, Brian.
Nice little golf clap for you.
Way to be.
That's right. So tonight, guys, we're going to break down Season 3, Episode 7, Branch Closing. I love this episode. It's really good.
It is.
I love it so much.
Lots of elements in here.
Yes.
And I will say, not to spoil it for anybody, at the very end, I was like, get out of here, Karen. Leave. And go talk to the manager somewhere.
You don't even go here. We're also going to take a look at a prank that Jim pulls, because he pulls one, and oh, does he?
A good one.
Quite good, quite good. And then we'll also head over to Dunder Mifflin, the Dunder Mifflin subreddit, and look at some quality content, guys. I sorted by new. This one popped up, and I fell in love.
Good.
I fell in love.
I'm excited already.
It's so good. But before we jump into that, a little bit of housekeeping. Adam Jones. Adam Jones back 2020. Okay.
First episode of 2020 I'm in, yeah.
That's right. Here's a couple things. Okay, number one, we got Caleb here. Caleb Polk, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Representing. He's wearing some translucent, clear, blue blocker glasses.
I am. I'm trying to save the melatonin that I store throughout the day.
They're sexy.
Blue light filtering.
It's very trendy.
So
I want a pair
ask
of
me
those.
a math problem when you see me. I'll probably know it.
Andi is taking a little bit of a break this week, and so we gave her the night off, so she is chilling.
Nice.
And it's the boys. The boys are back in town.
Our intro sounded very manly compared
didn't
to
it?
when Andy's here.
Yeah.
Everybody in the conference room.
Everybody in the conference room.
Open up this pit,
That's right. But Adam Jones hanging with us. Let's take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Adam Jones, a little bit of announcement here. Let's talk about this, my friend. Hand it over to you.
Yes. So basically, we had just a hiatus for a long time, and what I found during that hiatus is, as I thought through it a little bit more, is one, things that listeners may not know. I have a new job this year.
Indeed.
Yes.
My wife has a new job this year.
Indeed.
So our schedules have changed a lot, and so when we took that hiatus, I was like, oh man, this actually makes my schedule much easier. And so then I just talked to Rob basically right when 2020 hit.
That's right.
And we were trying to figure out when to come back on. And I said, hey, I think with our new schedules and especially with my wife, she goes to bed much earlier now and our schedules kind of are lopsided. It's just like, I'm going to take just a step away from this for now. I'll probably still come on as a guest every so often or whatever, but won't be a regular host anymore. And so it's just one of those things where I was like, I kind of got to choose what we're going to do with our schedule and how this is going to work now. And that's what it was. So
That's a man right there.
Yeah.
That's a man.
It's sad.
Prioritize.
Yeah.
prioritize.
Dang it, Adam Jones.
Dang it, organization.
Yeah, but so that's what things will look like moving forward. Now, fellas, are you ready to break down Season 3, Episode 7, Branch Closing?
Yes.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
Without further ado,
Let's do it.
tonight, Michael gets some terrible news. Jim gets an incredible offer. Dwight is on a stakeout, and Meredith is on the hunt.
Yes, she is.
Oh, dear
Yes,
Lord.
she is.
This is Branch Closing, Season 3, Episode 7 of The Office. All right, so the episode opens, and I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite cold opens in the history of the series.
It is good.
Jim is standing at the fax machine in Stamford. It's early in the morning. He is sending a fax. Karen Filippelli walks in, and she says to Jim, "Who are you faxing so early?" It's kind of a long story. We find out that when Jim left Scranton, he took a stack of Dwight's stationery and is now
Playing the long game here.
I know. Oh, it's so good. We're gonna give it a score at the end of the episode, and spoiler, it's gonna be a high one from old Rob. Anyways, he is sending faxes to Dwight from himself from the future.
Yes.
And in this current one, Dwight receives a fax from future Dwight that says, at 8 a.m., somebody poisons the coffee. Don't drink it. More instructions to follow.
Yep.
Sincerely, future Dwight.
Yes.
And as he receives his fax, poor Stanley, he's just trying. It's not pretzel day.
It's rough.
It is not.
The only thing that he has is to start his day off with a nice, strong, beautiful cup of coffee.
He needs it.
But Dwight, being the hero that he is, runs across the bullpen, slaps the coffee out of Stanley's hand, and says, "You'll thank me later."
Yeah.
To which Stanley says nothing.
Stanley's thinking my nap this afternoon is going to be much sooner now.
Indeed.
Yes.
Because there's no coffee, apparently.
He's thinking, I'm going to have to take a 3-hour lunch today.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit longer.
It's pretty awesome of Dwight, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
It
equivalent
is.
of like diving, almost like diving in front of a bullet for the
Yeah.
president.
You see the heart of Dwight here.
But here's my question with all this.
Hit me.
What is a fax?
Oh my God.
You're so young, Adam Jones.
My wife still she does B2B stuff, and she's working with the hospital, and they're like, yeah, we can't do certain records, they have to be faxed, and I'm like, is this 2020
Faxed?
and
Yeah.
we have to fax?
Let me put down my
things?
Walkman real quick.
Yeah, for real. Sony Walkman.
Hey, let me pause my Walkman and hit pause on my Game Boy, and then
Sorry,
I will fax
I got you on the old corded phone. Let me get back into the
Yeah,
kitchen
hold on.
here.
Let me leave it off the hook, and I'll pick up in the other
Yeah.
room.
It's so ridiculous.
That is crazy, dude.
Hospitals are like weird about certain things.
Yeah.
I had to go to the DMV recently, Rabbit Trail,
My
Great.
gosh.
because I had to apply for my very first Utah license.
I'm proud of you, by the way. It only took you 2 years.
I've lived here for 3 years,
Oh my gosh.
but my license was expiring for the first time in my life.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to apply for my new one, and so
Did you have to take the test?
I had to go in.
Oh my
okay, here's the deal.
gosh, dude.
I made the appointment. I went in with all of the documentation that I thought I was supposed to have. I get up to the window, and the lady's like, "This one document is not going to work. It doesn't have your address on it."
Oh no.
And I'm like, "You have a certified birth certificate. My actual issued Social Security card from when I was a child.
Yeah.
A utility bill, and then you have this like car registration that doesn't happen to have my address on it." And she's like,
Crazy.
"I'm so sorry, there's nothing I can do." And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
it was ridiculous.
This is my problem with Utah from coming from Texas, because this is how you get your driver's license in Texas. You go to the DMV. There's a form. It just says name. The second box just says barbecue ? With just an open check box. Not a yes or a no. Do you put an X? Do you put a check? I don't know. The verbal questionnaire is, can you defend yourself with a gun?
Do you own a
if
gun?
needed? And you have to say yes, to which I've never shot one at this point in my life. And then they're like, you're now legally allowed to drive in the great state of Texas.
There you go.
Amen.
And then you move to Utah, and they're like, no, I get that you're almost 30 years old, but we need you to take this 100-question written exam.
Yep, they do.
And I'm like, listen, lady, I'm from North Central Texas Junior College. I already learned how to read.
I don't know if they got junior colleges.
Give me
around
them
here.
keys.
I synced it. Yeah, I heard that if you just walk in the DMV and yell "Go Cowboys," they just throw a license at you.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
good.
they're actually like, all right, you get to take the cop's car for an hour.
Yeah.
You want him to ride shotgun or leave him here?
I will say the second time I went back, okay, I had all the proper documentation. I even brought extra. It was like a thick pile. I'm like, I'm going to get this right.
Yeah.
They did make me take a 25-question test,
Yeah.
but it was open book.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
However, a couple of the questions were absurd.
Yeah, they're really strange.
Like, have nothing, like
Like, which side of the road should you drive on?
no.
Yeah.
I understand that. Because
I would have got that one.
Yeah, no. I got 24 out of 25 correct.
yeah.
But this is my driving test, and there was questions on there that were like, true or false? The equivalence of a vehicle to a train is the equivalence of a vehicle to a soda can.
What?
And I'm like,
Uh,
and then it's like, true or false? When riding a bicycle, you must have both hands on the handlebars. I'm like, I'm here for the driver's test.
Yeah, I don't need the bicycle one.
Yeah, is there another one
Yeah,
here?
did you give me the wrong one?
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
crazy.
It was so stupid. But
Utah's on another level.
Did you at
passed.
least get a real ID? You know what I'm talking about? Did you hear about that from the airport?
I didn't
You see
even.
that?
Yeah, I didn't
Wait,
even.
what's this? They give you fake IDs now?
No. Well, no.
This is the one where you can like go to Canada and Mexico, right?
Well, actually, in the States, starting in October, to fly in the States, you need a driver's license that has this like star on it.
You gotta be
I have
kidding
this
me.
one though.
See,
I
don't
have this
it.
one.
I don't
You'll have it
yet.
on your new one.
Okay,
I don't have
thank
it
you.
yet.
Thank
just
you, Lord.
prints on
Because I
there.
got my driver's license when I moved here.
Like a responsible
like
adult.
I was supposed to.
You didn't. You mean you didn't wait 3 years?
No.
What'd you put on that barbecue question? I didn't know how to fill it out.
Sweet honey barbecue.
There you go. There you go. So, anyways, we're almost 15 minutes in, and we only got through the intro. Okay, perfect. Let's keep going.
This is gonna be a long one.
So, as we come back from the credits, Jan has arrived in Scranton, and she walks into Michael's office, and he is just singing beautiful music to her. He talks about how he loves to start his day with a hearty bowl of Jan.
That makes me LOL when I hear that line.
What is that referencing? I don't even.
You beats me, dude.
Gosh, Michael.
He just likes a big helping of Jan Levinson every morning.
Yeah.
But she basically has to break the news to him, Michael, the Scranton branch is closing down. The board voted, and you're going to get shut down. And he's like, by whose authority?
Yeah.
On whom's authority?
The boards.
Of the board. Yeah. Those guys who voted.
Yeah.
She makes it clear some people will be transferred to Stanford. Some people will receive severance packages. And Michael wants to know, am I a transfer person or am I a severance person? I love that Jan's response is, there's no decisions that have been finalized, but you are a severance person.
But you
fits.
are a severance package person.
If there's someone that's going to go, it's definitely going to be you.
Which, it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit, okay, coming off of last episode where he completely embarrassed himself at Diwali, okay, I get it, but that's not, that has nothing to do with his professional. The last thing we saw him do was when he was like talking with, what's his name, Casanelli, and he closes that huge deal at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Pam said, this is a big deal.
Exactly.
But Jan wanted to hurt him like he hurt
This is
her.
on a personal level.
Oh my gosh. So
Thank God he only got to second base. With this.
exactly.
Could have been much worse.
As we go out into the bullpen, Kevin is really concerned. He's like asking Pam what she knows. She knows nothing, and Kevin is making it really clear. If you find out anything, you call Kevin.
Call me. I really need to know.
And she's like, all right, gotcha. And back in the meeting, Michael doesn't understand. He's like, we've had good numbers. Things are looking up. And she's saying, hey, Michael, it's not just about numbers. It's also about talent. And he is like pretty upset because he knows she's talking about Josh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Josh is going to play an important role in the company moving forward. Michael is not having this. Like, what role? Yeah. King of the stupid universe.
Got him.
Oh my gosh.
Which can we all agree, like, that sounds about right for Josh. But anyways, we have a clip here because it's at this point that Jan has had enough. The meeting for her is over, but Michael decides to pull the heartstrings and go for a Hail Mary. So check this out.
Don't
do this. I think we're finished, and I need to go.
are not.
I would appreciate it if you would please use discretion until we get our ducks in a row.
I know you're mad. Don't do this. I know I hurt you. Please
Oh my gosh.
don't hurt me like I hurt you. Jan.
Don't hurt me like I
Oh
hurt you.
gosh,
Oh
I love
my
that part.
So good.
I love it.
Do you think this is personal for Jan Levinson?
I think like 10% of it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
slightly.
it's just like a little sugar on tap.
Like, the decision isn't personal, but delivering the news is
yeah.
maybe a little
Yeah.
sweet.
I feel like she would have volunteered to drive to Scranton.
She's going to be doing a lot of driving today.
Yeah, she does.
So, as we go to a talking head with Michael, he's just saying, "Hey, this is a huge mistake." He would like to see Josh be able to replace these people. He's talking about Stanley. Like, do you think Stanleys grow on trees?
No.
Do you think the earth is crawling with Phyllis's? Show me the farm that's full of Phyllis's and Kevin sprouting up. And then I just love, show me that farm.
Yeah.
But so Michael he's walking around the office, and he's sort of reminiscing. He's sort of trying to drink it in.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up over at Stanley's desk looking at the Catholic schoolgirl daughter's photo again.
Oh my gosh.
Which
She needs to stay away from that.
I know, dude. I thought Stanley was going to take it home after that. That's my daughter. She goes to Catholic girls' school. I'm taking
it down right now.
Exactly. He brought it back. Dwight knows that something is going on. His approach is, hey, stranger. He feels like they haven't talked in a while.
Yeah.
And Michael is not about that. Don't call me hey, stranger. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just get back to work. And then under his breath, well, you still can. And I just love this because Dwight is like, when you are close to somebody, okay, when you're on the same wavelength, you can read their emotions like a book. Michael's book would be something titled Something Weird is Going On, what did Jan say? The Michael Scott story by Michael Scott with Dwight Schrute.
Yes.
Would you read this book?
Definitely.
Yes. As long as it's also written by Wayne Gretzky.
He would probably write the forward.
Forward from Wayne Gretzky.
That's so good.
Perfect.
So back at Stanford, Karen is spilling the beans about Scranton. She's telling Jim, and the Nard Dog is there. He's kind of hearing it as well. And Andi, just being the sensitive, good friend to Tuna, his exact words, I believe, are in your face. To which Jim is like, I work here now. His response, sucker.
Sucker.
Got him. Really good.
Got him. Got him. Take that, Jim.
Got him.
Your old job shutting down. Michael, in his tour around the office as he's reminiscing, he ends up at reception with Jan.
Of course.
Just smiling at her, just drinking in Pam Beasley.
Yeah.
And she wants to know what's going on. What did Jan say? And he can't tell her. But it doesn't matter because it's all going to be over soon anyway.
You can tell in this moment, too, that Michael is like one of those people. He's like the 13-year-old girl that's like, and I hate drama. But really, he's like, I love drama.
But he loves it.
I love this is happening, and I want to tell. I have something that everybody wants to know.
That's a great way of
I'm not gonna
describing
tell
it,
him.
actually.
Do you find it strange that all the people who have to announce to the world that they don't do / they hate drama
Yes.
are the ones who are always surrounded by
They're
drama?
the ones
Yes,
that
that is
get arrested
absolutely.
before high school's
There you
over,
go.
typically.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
And then
yeah.
again afterwards.
Yeah.
So he's basically like, it doesn't matter, we're all going to be gone soon. And then Michael just decides, we have a clip here. Michael decides, you know what, it's just time to address the troops. Jan has said, I would appreciate your discretion. He loves these people too much. He has to address them, and so let's check this out.
Listen up, everybody. I have some news.
All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader.
It's over. We are screwed.
Leadership.
Dunder Mifflin Scranton is being shut down.
Michael,
So much poise.
we shouldn't be talking about this until all the decisions have been made.
You knew about this all along, didn't you?
He's so betrayed.
Jan told me just a few minutes before she told you.
Traitor.
You are a traitor.
What about us, Michael? Do we still have jobs?
I don't know. Probably not. This is the worst.
His face. Oh my gosh, I love that.
This is like a famous meme.
Yes,
It's my favorite.
Of him going, this is the worst.
Yeah. It's like
Oh,
a
it's
teeth over
so
the lip.
Yes.
dang
Yeah.
good. Michael wants everybody to finish strong, and then he wants to talk to Toby in his office, and Toby is just
Traitor.
the slowest walker ever. That's really what it comes down
But seriously, I hate people who walk slow.
Oh
Just
my gosh.
Putting that out there.
I know.
to. You ever get trapped behind somebody at Costco?
Oh, man.
Like you're just trying to get to the checkout.
Okay, and I get it. Like, there's sometimes when
Yeah.
you're shopping when you're in a hurry, and sometimes when you're not. And the times that I'm not in a hurry, when people like zoom past me, I'm like, that's great. Just get past me.
Let me tell you something about Costco on a Saturday.
In Utah.
Every
hell.
every time I go to Costco on a Saturday in Utah, I'm like, why did I do that? Because when your 7-year-old kid accidentally runs into me with the cart that he's pushing because you're not being
my
a parent,
gosh.
I'm gonna throw him in the freezer and close the door,
That's right.
and he's gonna die on a freaking bag of chicken wings.
Yeah.
Dude,
Stop letting your kids drive the carts. If you don't have a driver's license, you don't drive the cart.
if you don't have a real ID,
Yeah, you don't have the real one.
if you haven't in Utah, Costco on a Sunday,
Oh yeah,
No, that's great.
that's the time to
it's
go.
a ghost town.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, driving on Sunday in Utah is a ghost town.
Just like
It's amazing.
so many samples.
Yeah,
You can eat an entire chicken bake.
you can.
Yeah.
The lady will just keep handing it
It's
to you.
Sunday. They don't even care. They'll just hand you all the samples.
No
They're
problem.
ready to go home.
No problem. So after Michael addresses everybody and kind of spills the beans, we go to a talking head of Ryan, and Ryan is just like, you know what, this totally makes perfect sense. I just received 1,000 business cards with this address on them.
Yeah.
And this phone number.
Yep.
Angela, we also cut to Angela. She says there's nobody to blame for this specifically. It's everyone's fault.
Way to be a team player, Angela.
Yep,
That's right.
That's everybody.
And Kelly just talks about how if she can't work with Ryan, she's going to kill herself.
Yeah.
Yes,
Kelly would also say she hates drama.
Exactly.
yes, yes. That's a perfect example of who
Yeah.
hates drama in the office. It would be the
Big
Kelly.
Well done, Adam Jones. You'd never hear Creed talking about drama.
No,
No.
Ever.
he's just sprouting those mung beans on his desk.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
You
right.
see him eating them in this episode.
I know. Do they use the same clip
Yes, I think so.
from earlier? I noticed that too. That's so freaking
It's
awesome.
cannabis indica.
Northern Lights.
Yeah.
No, it's marijuana.
Shut up about the sun. We'll get
that's
there.
I
That's
can't
huge
wait
one.
to
Yeah.
yell "Shut up" about the sun.
That's one of my favorite moments of the
Oh
whole
my
series. Oh my gosh. So we cut back to Stanford, and they are like having a great time. They're celebrating, like Andi, the Nard dog,
Yeah,
leading them in a victory chant.
Yes.
What is it? What is he?
I think.
Stanford,
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we're all musicians. We can all clap
That's
exactly
good.
on beat
Good
there.
It's beautiful.
synchronization.
It's that good stuff. And as Josh walks out, the Nard dog is like, "Our fearless leader, Josh.
Josh Porter,
Yes.
everybody.
Josh Potter. Take a bow." Right? Doesn't he tell him to take a bow?
Yeah, he does.
And you can tell Josh is like, "Stop talking to me."
Yeah.
Well, so Josh, at this point, is kind of telling everybody, like, "Hey, let's take it easy. Nothing is definite." And a little bit before this, Jim was even asking him, like, "Hey, are people going to transfer here? What does that look like?" And he's just like, "Nothing's been decided."
Yeah.
And then telling the troops, like, "Hey, guys, like, I appreciate the fanfare, but like, nothing is definite yet." Foreshadowing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is.
Spoiler
He definitely-
alert if you
he
haven't
definitely knows
watched this yet.
Something is in
Josh
the works.
friggin' Porter. And then we cut to a talking head of Jim where he talks about like people transferring to Scranton might be weird.
I love the analogy he uses too. He's like, it's like if you go to your high school reunion, you're like, "Hey, I missed you guys," and everybody's like, "Don't worry about it. We're moving in with you."
Did you guys go? Have you guys been to a
I
high
haven't
school
had
reunion?
mine yet.
20 years
It'll
coming up?
be
Mine would be
this
pretty
next
boring.
this next year will be the 10 year.
Oh, 10 year.
Yeah.
Sorry, okay. This next coming year is going to be your 10 year.
10 year.
Okay.
I'm not going, dude.
Oh man.
You're not going to go to your 10 year?
No. Oh my gosh. No. I don't. No. I only want to go if I can do something weird, like go in a cosmonaut costume with a briefcase tied to my wrist
Excellent.
and just throw everybody off my scent.
Everybody's like, what is going on with Caleb Polk?
I might
Yeah.
go. I grew up in a small town, so like half the people still live there. It's
Oh yeah,
weird. It's
that's
weird,
my
man.
world.
Yeah?
It's weird.
Have you had your 10 year?
But dude, I was homeschooled. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
This 10 years every Christmas when he goes home to meet his principal
Yeah.
again.
That's right. No, but I did go back for Christmas. It is funny. Just like you definitely have those people like that stayed there and are
Yes.
lifers there, and then there's the people who moved.
The lifers, that's such a
That
good way to
is-
call
oh,
them
no,
because
it is.
they're serving a life sentence to
Pull out-
Bowie.
Yeah, yeah.
Pull out the old yearbook. It's just an 8x10 of Adam Jones.
Graduated.
Signed by his mom.
What are all those
Oh my
terms
gosh.
the smart people get with the the
Valedictorian,
and
yeah.
stuff like that?
He's got the valedictorian photo.
Yeah, I got the
tassels?
the tassels and stuff. Yeah,
You guys want to hear? I know we're getting on another rabbit trail.
It's all right.
My mom went to a very, very small, like rural farming high school. Like literally, her graduating class had 6 people in it.
Oh,
Perfect.
dang. Okay.
So So when she was in high school, she told me her sophomore year, the senior class was literally a brother and sister twin.
Oh no!
So
They were homecoming king and queen.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at. So
Oh my
they go to the homecoming dance, and they obviously get king and queen because there's one boy, one girl. But
Wow.
what's funny is they're brother and sisters, and people started chanting "kiss, kiss,
Oh,
kiss."
And because of where they were, they did.
Yeah, because
And it
of
was
it.
fine.
Yeah,
Nobody
It was-
nobody
yeah.
cared.
That's right.
Dude.
They were. Everybody was rooting for
Oh
them.
my gosh, so
We've been rooting
funny.
for you kids to get together for a while now.
We've been waiting for this day.
Oh dear
Oh
lord!
my gosh.
My tenure actually happened. Wait, I did not go.
Was it weird?
Yeah, see, why are you getting on to me about not going? You're like, you're not gonna go.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, I didn't realize how small of a town you grew up in as well.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very small town. I think when you look at the picture, okay, number one, here's how small of a town it was. There is a small diner that has a bar attached to it. The 10-year high school reunion was in the bar of the diner.
Oh my god! So the side room
Yes.
of the diner.
Yes.
Wow.
Dude.
And when you look at the pictures, I think they're, our graduating class was probably 125, something like that.
Okay, pretty similar.
Well,
Yeah. There was maybe 30 people there.
Oh no!
And
Are
it
they
was-
the people that live in
Yeah.
that town?
Yeah. And at that time I lived about 5 hours away, and I was just like, you know what, should I go? Should I not go? I was like,
Yeah,
nah.
I'm not gonna like catch flights back for that. You
No,
know?
I
Like,
wouldn't do
If
that
I could fly
either.
back to Texas, it's just to hang with family at this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did go to Andi's tenure,
nice.
and that actually was
She had to show you off, man.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
That's right. It actually was pretty
Show
fun.
off the goods.
The eye candy.
Yeah, I was hitting the floor. I was tearing it up.
Nice.
That's good stuff. So we cut back over to Meredith walking into Michael's office, and Michael, she kind of catches him staring longingly out the window.
Yeah.
He's just reminiscing. He's deep in thought, and she basically she's asking him. She's saying, "Hey, I just want you to know, like, I'm still down if you're down. Our agreement that we had. Do you remember, like, last day of work, you and me, we'd sleep together."
Yeah.
Michael's like, that was not me.
He's like, oh god.
Oh yeah. He seems pretty turned off by that.
Yes. And she realizes, oh, it was not him. Never mind. She walks out. That hunt will continue through the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Pam actually, though, is saying that, she thinks that, the branch shutting down is kind of a blessing. And in her mind, she always sort of pictured that she was like going to have this moment where she would give a big speech,
Yeah.
smack somebody in the face, and then walk out forever.
Powerful.
That's right. But this is good too.
Yep. This works.
Have you ever have you ever quit a job, like, stormed out?
No, I kind of got escorted off of Ace Hardware property.
Perfect.
Not
I know what that's
escorted.
like. Come
So
check
I
us out
had-
at Poor Richards tonight,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
I did have a similar situation to Rob that you'll hear in Poor Richards. I asked to be terminated in 2 weeks for high school golf, and they said, you know what, let's go ahead and call it right now.
Oof.
Perfect.
Sent me home on Saturday at 7 a.m. because that's when my shift started. So I said, you know what, we could have done this on the phone, guys.
I didn't
Dang
have
it,
to come
dudes.
in.
I woke up and drove in for
I
this.
could have slept in.
Golly.
Jerks.
Yeah.
Roy is finding out that the branch is shutting down, and he's really surprised. And the question he's asking is, who's going to get transferred to Connecticut?
Yeah.
But he's sort of just wondering, is Pam getting transferred over there? He's looking at Pam and wondering, is she going to be out of there?
Yeah.
And we go to talking head for him because he basically is saying he doesn't want to work here without Pam because basically this job would be loading trucks with no meaning.
Which,
Yeah, it's
okay.
unfortunate. Yeah.
But I mean, we're hearing from Roy, like, this guy wants to win back Pam, right?
He does.
Mm-hmm.
He realizes what he had and what he lost, so he can't do it without her.
Yeah.
Stanley, on the other hand, this guy is so excited. He is planning on taking the severance, retiring, doing some traveling with his wife. Like, he is packing up his desk.
Yeah.
He's on cloud nine. It's going to
He's
be
ready
great.
to go.
Creed is walking around taking photos for some reason.
For Craigslist.
Do we know why?
Creed's list.
Creed's list.
There's never a point in the episode where we understand why he's taking people's photos.
There is.
Yeah, there
He's
is.
taking, not people's photos. He's selling things.
He is taking pictures to post on
Whatever
third-party merchant sites.
Wait, but no, he's taking a photo of Stanley though.
No, I think he's taking photos of his stuff.
Yeah,
Of the gear?
He's using that. He's like, smile for me, big guy.
He's
Let me
using it as
zoom in
like
on-
an excuse.
Let me zoom in on this monitor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, I didn't make that connection.
Like, hey, can you stand in front of the jewelry like there in the
Yeah.
like I want to take like that type of thing.
Creed's the Jar Jar Binks of this office, and so you're like, what? That doesn't make sense until it does.
Wow, we're calling them prequels now.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, see, I didn't even make that connection. I thought he was like taking photos of the people for some sinister means.
No.
Oh no,
That
no,
we don't
he's-
find out in this
he's
episode.
Oh
selling
my
stuff,
god!
no.
But that would also make sense just for him to have
It
a bunch
would.
of pictures.
It would also make sense.
Making,
Yes.
he's like making a photo database of his coworkers that he will never see again, so he can steal their identities. Michael is down in the warehouse and he sees Daryl, and this is the first time we've seen Daryl in a few episodes.
Yeah.
He's like lost some weight. He's kind of looking good right now.
I like what you put in the.
Is
the
this hot
outline.
Daryl?
You put hot Daryl.
He's hot. This is hot Daryl.
It's hot
This
Daryl.
is him. This is after the Weight Watchers, right? He
I
talks
guess
about
It's after
so.
it's after Tybo.
He talks about entering the points.
That's
right. Yeah. If you don't enter them right away, you forget.
That's
Yes.
right. Daryl is looking good, and Michael is, just sort of reminiscing, and he's sad to see things end.
Yeah.
But Daryl lets him know that Bob Vance actually bought the warehouse, and he's going to be keeping the whole crew on, so they're totally fine.
Good news.
Friggin' Bob Vance.
Oh my gosh.
And I love the analogy that Michael uses here. He's like, it's like the CFO took my house away, is giving it to Josh Porter, and then Josh gave the garage to Bob Vance.
Still doesn't make sense.
Oh, man. Freaking
so
Bob Vance,
good.
dude. It's always going to come down to Bob Vance.
Mm-hmm.
It's at this point, though, we have a clip here because once Michael realizes all this, he's had enough, and he comes up with a plan. So let's check this out.
All right, listen up. Some of you may have heard some rumors about the branch closing.
Like when you said the branch was closing?
I am not going to take this lying down. I have a
That's what she
plan,
said.
and I am going to save our job, so just hang in there. Let's go. Yes!
Oh, good. You're bringing Dwight.
Yes, this might get ugly. I need backup.
This has to be
plan.
one of the most
Go to New
gratifying
York,
moments.
confront the CFO, show him he's making a mistake, save the branch.
Can I drive?
No, way.
Shotgun.
No, there's no one else.
No.
He says no, and then he says still.
Yeah. Still.
Is Michael going to make him sit in the back seat?
I
Possibly?
thought
hope
that
so,
when I was
yes.
first watching this.
I hope
But this
so.
also has to be like one of the most gratifying moments ever for Dwight because this is a time that his karate skills are needed. He says,
Yes, he needs
Dwight's
backup.
coming with me. It might get ugly.
It may get ugly. I might need backup.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Dwight is ready to roll out. So as they're driving, though, Dwight is on the phone. He finds out that the CFO is actually out of the office, but Dwight has his home address. And when Michael wants to know, well, why? Like, how did you get this guy's home address? Christmas card list.
Yep.
You've never sent him a Christmas card. Yeah, but now when we meet, we'll have something to talk
Talk
about.
about.
Oh,
That's
my
what
gosh.
it's for.
Jim is popping into Josh's office, and he really wants to know, hey, are anybody coming from Scranton?
He looks like / nervous and pressing, and he's like, I need to know what's happening here.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
this is a little bit interesting to me because the last sort of interaction that we saw was it not Jim accidentally calling and getting Pam when he was trying to get Kevin for fantasy football?
Yeah, that's like the last time they've talked, I think.
Yeah.
And then they have like a really good long conversation, and it's all
Yeah.
cool. So now the next thing we're getting from Jim is like, if there's a possibility that Pam is coming here, that's like it's making him nervous.
It is.
It's nerves. Yeah.
What's the deal?
nerves?
I mean, he knows internally he still wants to be with her. So
Right,
like, this
right.
is a big deal for him.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. And once again, Josh is saying, we don't know anything for sure. But then he says, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely
Foreshadowing.
Yes, letting them know.
Oh, baby.
Yep.
And then Jan arrives, walks into the office with Jim and Josh and says, hey, let's talk some logistics.
Yep.
So we know Scranton's shutting down and some people are going to be absorbed into Stamford. So let's talk those logistics, Jan. As we cut back to Scranton, though, Ryan is sitting down with Kelly and he's just breaking the news to her. He's like, the branch shutting
very
down.
Disappointed.
You know, I'm going to go somewhere. You're going to go somewhere. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And they're going to...
It's too bad.
They should probably break up.
Yeah. A couple things to keep in mind here. This is post Wally, right?
True.
Yeah,
So
it is.
just remember, he's met her parents, he's met her family, her sisters who think he looks like
Zach
Zach
Braff.
Braff.
He's going to buy an Xbox.
And he sees a way out. But what's cool is later in this episode, we start to see the root of their relationship.
Sure.
And I love it so much.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
And then we see that Creed is deciding, hey, everything's shutting down. I'm going to sell off some of this gear.
That's
And
right.
Some guy walks out with a printer initially, I think is what it is. And this will not be the first time. Creed is going to make a grip of Skrilla, I believe is what the kids say on the streets.
Yeah, cheddar.
Yep.
Yeah, cheddar. Oh, cheddar.
Sure,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, in
get
Wisconsin,
that-
the kids say that.
Get
Yeah.
that sharp cheddar.
That's right. Michael and Dwight arrive at the CFO's home. And as they're walking up, Michael is excited. He's saying this is exactly like what Michael Moore does. Famous documentarian.
Yes.
But he gets a camera and he walks up to people and he says, you know, why did you do this? You polluted. You are bad.
You are bad.
And he says, although he didn't really enjoy Bowling for Columbine because it wasn't a bowling movie like Kingpin.
Thought it was going to be more like Kingpin. And what else I love about the scene when you're watching it at home is he says, I thought it was going to be more like Kingpin. He pauses for like a legit 7 seconds in silence, then just goes, but it wasn't. Like, he really rides it out.
Rabbit Trail. Have you ever seen Kingpin?
No.
I haven't. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it. It's like T2 Judgment Day. I know what it is.
Right,
Well-
yeah.
It's only like T2 Judgment Day in the sense that you've never seen it, and that's where the similarities end.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Arnold does kill a lot of people in Kingpin.
In Kingpin, I know it's ironic how that works out. It's pretty interesting. And so we have a clip here because back in Stamford, Jan is sort of explaining what Josh's new position will be and what Jim's new role will be. Talking those logistics. When something goes wrong, and suddenly everything changes. Let's check out this clip. It's my movie preview voice.
I love it. Keep
so,
doing it.
Josh will be running what is now called Dunder Mifflin Northeast, which is all the offices north of Stamford.
Beautiful.
And Jim, if you want the job, he'll be his number 2.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure, absolutely.
Excuse me, Jan, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop you there. I will not be taking the job.
Excuse, why not?
As of today, I have accepted a senior management position at Staples.
What a jerk. Staples.
You leverage your new position with us into another offer? Damn it, Josh. This whole restructuring thing was based around keeping you. I
Look at Jim's face.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
all right? It's done. It's done.
gotta make some calls.
What's funny is Jim is constantly in like weird aspects of Jan's
Say what you will
drama.
about Michael Scott, but he would never do that.
True dad.
So
okay,
true.
Caleb Polk. Sorry. Go for
sorry.
it.
Yeah, he is always like a third wheel to whatever Jan's dramatic moment is.
Yeah, that's true.
You see
Actually,
it here, you see it with
It's 'cause
with
his
Michael.
great facial
It's
reactions.
so
to
funny.
He's just always in the crossfire.
He's like, oh my gosh.
It. Yeah.
So Josh takes his offer, leverages
Yep.
for a better position, senior management at Staples.
Yep.
This changes the game. Scranton was going to shut down. Stanford was going to bring some people in. Now it was all about Josh, and Josh is not going to be there. What is going to happen? Let's find out.
Let's do it.
Michael and Dwight are they're still at the CFO's house, and they come up with this great idea of like, what if we like role play the situation? Like, what are you going to say to him? I'm just going to spitball it. Okay, well, let's do some role playing.
It's so good.
And so Dwight is going to be the CFO, and as he's walking up, Michael launches into this, questioning of him, and then Dwight just unloads. we're shutting down Scranton. It's no longer financially viable. It's a business. It's not a
Great
charity.
explanation.
I think he goes, Michael, listen.
Yeah.
Like tries to talk down to him.
Michael shuts him down and is like, it won't be like that. He'll be more intimidated.
scared. Yeah.
Let's do it again, and this time don't touch me. I think is what he
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
He says, "Don't touch me this time."
Oh my gosh. Back at Scranton, though, Kelly is making the rounds, and she's asking Pam to sign her company staff directory,
Yes.
kind of like a yearbook, I guess.
Yep.
To which Pam, she signs it, Kelly, best wishes, love Pam. And this offends Kelly. She's like, for real?
That's what you got for
not good
me.
enough.
That's what you got?
I mean, P.S., what a long, strange trip it has been.
To which Kelly's like,
That makes it all better.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. When you guys, okay, Rabbit Trail. Minus Adam Jones because he was homeschooled.
Yeah.
When you got your yearbook, did you ever have the comedian who would sign your yearbook and they would like I'm doing it with my hands so people can't see this, but like when they open the book, like the spine of the book where the pages meet, somebody would sign like vertically right there and be like, "Hey, bet you never thought somebody would sign your crack." Did anybody ever do that to you?
no, that's such a good one.
That sounds
though.
like a Caleb thing.
It is not. It is so stupid.
I'm going to use that now. When I graduate college. I'm going to graduate college, Mom. All right.
He's just going to be hanging out on middle schoolers' campus. Hey, kid, let me sign your yearbook.
Don't tell your parents that you let me send you crack.
That's right.
Oh my gosh. That's a close line. Okay.
It was the worst.
I love to put hags in there.
Hags.
Yes.
All right.
Have a great summer.
Oh.
So I would put hags - Caleb. So if you're out there in your yearbooks hagging it up, I wish you those great summers.
I remember when I was in grade school, I think it was the 5th grade, and we had yearbooks even then. And some kid signed mine. Hey, I think I was Robert at that point. Robert. I might have been Bobby.
You went by Bobby?
There was a time. There was
No.
a season of my life.
Bobby.
Did you have a soul patch?
I was in like the 3rd grade.
So yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen your beard now. You could have had a soul
Yeah,
patch
that's
in
true.
third
That's
grade.
true.
Yeah.
But no, somebody like in the 5th grade signed my yearbook and it said, "Hey, Bobby,
I can't do that. So weird.
have fun in the sun and get laid in the shade."
In the 3rd grade?
No, the 5th was still the 5th grade, but
Oh
still.
my gosh.
I remember reading that and being like, "My mom's gonna kill me."
My mom puts all my friends in here. It's gonna be bad, man.
But what? I mean, it was like the 90s. What 5th grader signs that have fun in the sun and get laid in the shade?
Get laid in the shade.
The cool kid.
I didn't even. Yeah, exactly.
He was pledging Chi-O next
guess.
semester.
Oh, he's going to middle school. You had to crank it up a notch. So then, back in Stamford, Jan walks back in and informs Jim, "Okay, here's what's going to happen. Scranton's going to stay open. Stamford's going to shut down. Some people from Stamford will get absorbed into Scranton. We want to offer you the number 2 position, the assistant regional manager."
Here we go. That's the real
So
title.
dangerously close to Dwight's title.
Beautiful. We want to offer you the number 2 position there. And Jim is hesitant here. He says, "I've got a lot of bad memories that I don't know if I want to revisit." And Jan says, and I quote, "We'll do whatever we need to do to get you to stay."
It's a good position to be in.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
If your boss says that,
But once again, when he says, "I got some bad memories," she says, "Michael Scott." And he's like, no, it's not Michael.
yes.
Yeah.
But I've got some bad memories I don't want to revisit. But I'm looking at the last interaction we saw with him and Pam. It was really good.
Yeah, he's still.
Is he just afraid he's going to get hurt again? Is that what's going on here?
I
that.
think that she's scared about the whole Roy thing still. And also remember, too, in the Diwali situation, when Pam was like leaving that party, she was texting somebody and it cut to Jim's phone
That's
vibrating.
right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he was wasted and he probably
Yes.
passed out. But when he woke up the next morning,
Yes.
there were text messages waiting from Pam
Yes.
from being
Yeah.
at Diwali.
So
And so
I think that they both know at this point, like, we want to be with each other, but they're both hesitant and gun shy to be like, you could also hurt me again.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Back at Scranton, Meredith approaches Toby in the annex and is like, "Hey, do you ever remember us having a conversation about the last day of work and
Toby? The
an
HR
agreement,
guy.
you and me?" And Toby's like, "No, I have no idea."
Funny.
I think she even says something sexual. He's like, no, definitely not.
Yeah, it's definitely not me.
Oh God, no.
It wasn't Toby, we find out. Pam has Roy over there at her desk, and she's saying that she's okay with the branch closing down. When, what is she going to do? Well, maybe go to art school.
Mm-hmm.
We find out that she's actually already started.
Yeah.
That she's been doing it for a while. And this is kind of a surprise to Roy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very supportive about it, but there's almost this look in his eye of like, yes, we're not together and I'm disconnected from you, but there's like, you're definitely moving on. Like you're like, I don't know what's happening in your life.
Yeah.
Like you started on your dream
a big deal.
of art school and I didn't even know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty hardcore.
He, in an earlier episode, said Pam's art was the best art.
Best art.
And so he gets it.
Exactly. He's got an eye for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Back at the CFO's house, Dwight is going through his trash. Says you can tell a lot about a man in his trash. Finds a satellite cable bill. He must be rich.
I definitely used to think that growing up. Because there's no way my dad would have ever paid for satellite.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's ironic, though, is like you find that the bigger the satellite dish, like, how do I put this in a nice way? The smaller the satellite dish, probably the more well off you are.
Yeah.
And there's people with these huge satellite dishes on their property.
Yes.
Dude. That was us growing up.
You had the big one?
But it wasn't for like nice stuff, like for dish and stuff. It was like we had this huge antenna that like could probably summon a nuclear warhead to our house.
Excellent.
And yeah, dude.
You need to like support cables to keep it upright?
You'd get like channel 3, 10, and 11.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's pretty good.
And the Disney Channel.
No.
Not the Disney Channel.
Luckily, though, my parents loved me, and they did get satellite TV so I could watch the Disney
One
Channel.
day.
So
I mean, when you
that's
live
when
in-
I started watching Boy Meets World.
There you go. Well, when you live in Texas, like every channel's John Wayne the whole time, right?
Yeah.
It's all John
It's
Wayne.
all westerns.
And Dallas Cowboys playoff scenarios, but like in June.
Yeah, they're like, well, we always know we're going to make it.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Wayne, come on over to the after party at Poor Richard's for a beautiful John Wayne story from Caleb
Listen,
Paul.
if you've been teetering on the edge of like, should I give $3 to get into this Poor Richards thing?
Actually,
Tonight's
this week
the night.
is the week.
Listen, pay the cover charge at Poor Richards. Get in because you got to hear this John Wayne stuff.
Oh my
It
gosh,
involves,
it's so good.
yeah, you don't want to miss
There's
it.
tears.
And John Wayne.
John Wayne. We talk about golf coaches.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
Oh, God.
get in
Security.
on it.
I felt a little bit uncomfortable.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare.
It's good stuff. Dwight, so going through the trash, finds a satellite bill. He must be rich. Then finds coffee grounds. And I love that he was either enjoying a hot, tasty beverage, or is he trying to mask the smell of cocaine from drug sniffing
Very
dogs?
good question.
The most
Very good
left
question.
field thing ever.
Oh my gosh. Phyllis is walking around back in Scranton trying to put a lunch together because, and I quote, we will probably never see each other again after this. Kevin and Angela just ruin it. They cannot decide on where to go.
Angela says no seafood.
Yeah.
Is it what's the problem with seafood?
Because
Yeah.
it's animals.
Is
you
it
know?
Kevin though?
Yeah.
I
Is it
think it's
Kevin
more of
and seafood?
watching Kevin eat a lobster than
Right.
they serve lobster.
Yeah.
I like where you're going with that.
I get it. I've been Kevin eating a lobster.
Yeah.
I know.
Who hasn't eaten a
There's
lobster?
butter everywhere.
I'm sorry, everybody.
People are screaming in the background.
You got a little hammer.
There's fishing nets all over my body.
Creed is making a deal. The guy wants $400 for the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
Done deal. He has a huge wad of cash.
Oh, he's making
It
bank.
is coming together. Creed is making bank. Oh my gosh. And he's not done yet.
Nope.
Really quick, back at the CFO's house, Michael and Dwight are sharing a huge bottle of generic Gatorade. Got to replenish your
Gotta
fluids.
replenish
I
your
love
fluids.
this cutscene because he says, replenish your fluids. It is a literal liter of Gatorade.
Yeah.
This is not a single serve you grab out of the cooler by the checkout.
no.
This is,
No, he
you
had
go to the
prepared.
aisle for this one.
Dwight knows how to get ready for a stakeout.
Yeah.
This guy, he probably packs sandwiches.
Yeah, dude.
Back at Scranton, Jan arrives at the branch. So she's driven from Scranton to Stamford, finds out that Josh is jumping ship to Staples. She is driving back to Scranton, and finds out that Michael is gone. And at this point, she's just done. She's exhausted. So she wants to set the record straight. She says, hey, look, Stamford is shutting down. Scranton is staying open. So for now, your job's are safe, is what she says. Some people are celebrating. Stanley is so sad. He looks like a shell shock victim. He's just got the 1,000-yard stare. Is it Kelly who's hugging him or Phyllis?
It's Phyllis. She's like, Stanley, we get to keep our jobs. And he's like, please kill me now.
Yeah, for real. And then Pam asks, is anyone coming back to Scranton? To which Jan's like, back? And she's like, I mean, is anyone coming to Scranton?
Right.
At this point,
Wonder what Pam was thinking about.
Exactly. Back at the CFO's house, Michael and Dwight are still waiting. It is getting late. All of a sudden, Lady Humps starts playing. That good MIDI ringtone on Michael's phone. And it's the office calling him. Probably calling to say, hey, our branch is not shutting down, but Michael doesn't want to answer until he's got some good news for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's not going to do it.
Yep.
Back in Stanford, the Nard Dog is doing his best, news. I guess news, ba-dum.
Action news bit.
Yes.
Yeah, Dunder Mifflin action news.
It's like his weekend update for
There you go,
SNL.
exactly. Yeah. Will Big Tuna transfer back to Scranton? He's not sure if he's going to make that move, but Andy's not worried. He's going to be fine. He went to college in Cornell.
It's because he went to Cornell.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's because he went to Cornell.
They got that really good alumni network.
Yes.
And maybe he'll go back and teach. That's what he says.
Who knows?
To which I love when Jim goes, where did you go to school again?
Trolling.
It's Cornell.
Cornell.
Oh my gosh.
He's offended.
That's right. He's so offended. Ryan is asking Pam if Jim's coming back. They're kind of in the kitchen there. They're having a conversation about all this stuff. And Ryan is kind of like, hey, do you think Jim will come back here? And Pam's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Right. But then Kelly runs in and pins Ryan against the refrigerator and is so excited that now they don't have to break up.
Yes. And Ryan looks very disappointed.
It's so funny.
So this is interesting to me because then it cuts to a talking head of Ryan and all he says is, I don't know. I can't explain it.
And he's smiling the whole time he's saying
What
it,
was the question?
but he's looking down. He's saying, I don't know what it is with her. I can't explain it.
Okay.
I want to be with her, and I don't at the same time. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is like the root of their relationship that comes through the next 5 seasons that we're about to go through.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, dude, the complexity of what's about to unravel between Ryan and Kelly.
As soon as he thinks he's out, they just pull him back.
That's why he's like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Such a
meant
mess.
to be together.
That's right. So back in Stanford, Karen is actually telling Jim if there was an offer that she would actually consider moving to Scranton. And Jim is really surprised about this. He's like, New York is 45 minutes away. Why would you go to Scranton? This reminded me of, and I think this is, I think it's intentional though. It reminds me of when Jim finds out about the corporate job and he sort of mentions it to Pam and Pam is like, you should go for it. And to Jim, and Jim at that point is like, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe I will. Yeah. But it's like Jim is feeling like Pam is not, like they're not as connected as he thought.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now we're seeing this with Karen and Jim. Karen is like, I would go, basically telling him, I would go to Scranton with you. And he's like, you should go to New York. And there's just not that connection there. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Sucks. And then it goes into the break room, and Andy, what is he doing?
He's letting out some frustration.
He's just sort of losing his mind, like air punching napkins or something. Like, what is the deal?
That is exactly
It's such a weird cutscene.
Is he freaking out because Jim didn't know about gave him a hard time about Cornell?
I know.
I don't know.
I think he was so gung ho about his job just earlier that day and celebrating. Now it's
up in the air.
Now who knows what's going to happen with the Nard
Great
Dog.
movie, by the way. I just watched that this weekend.
Which one?
Up in the Air with George Clooney.
Oh, I've never seen that.
That just reminded me when he said, it's up in the air.
Wait, what is Up in the Air with George Clooney?
Oh my gosh, you got to watch it. It's on Netflix. Okay. It's about George Clooney. This is a deep rabbit trail. It's this movie about George Clooney, who is this guy that flies to different places all across the country to fire people.
Oh,
dude, it's such a good movie. You got to watch it. Anna Kendrick, very early role for her.
This looks familiar to me.
Yeah, you've probably seen it.
Okay.
It's like mid 2000s, maybe. Like
yeah, 2009.
Yeah,
2009. Okay.
It's on Netflix. Watch it.
I'll give it a try. I might
George
give it a try.
Clooney.
As soon as Josh walks in, though, he just completely composes himself. Hey, good luck, Josh. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And so the episode is starting to wrap up. Creed back at Scranton. We find out that he has made $1,200 today. It's a good haul.
Such a good haul.
Selling off equipment from the branch that is no longer closing, we find out.
Gosh.
Meredith's phone rings, and it's Gary,
Yeah.
who used to work in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard through the grapevine that the branch was shutting down and remembered the deal that they made.
Yes, the deal we've been
dirty
searching
deal.
for.
That's right. And I love that Meredith is like, yeah, well, actually, the branch is... Can you be at my place in 20 minutes?
Good cover.
Be at
Good
my
cover.
place in 20 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Gary, you're in for a... I was going to say you're in for a treat.
Nah.
That would be the wrong word to use.
I wouldn't say that.
You would use treat in the sense of like taking communion as a snack.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That's a whole, yeah.
There you go. Michael and Dwight still at the CFO's house, and it is dark now, by the way. The sun has gone down. They're kind of reminiscing in the car. Dwight is basically saying that it's been an honor to work with Michael. And Michael wants to reminisce. Like, what are your favorite Dunder Mifflin moments in history? And Dwight talks about the time that Michael sprayed him with a fire extinguisher on his first day to haze him.
Yes, that sounds like a Michael thing.
He talks about the first time he made a sale, his promotion to assistant regional manager, their basketball game, the time that Michael took Dwight to the hospital and told him he cared about him.
To which Mike is like, all right, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's over. Well, what about you, Michael? And Michael, I loved all of them. Just all of them.
All the
of them.
moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Including the branch closing down.
Well,
way to go. And so as the episode is wrapping up, back at Scranton, everybody is heading... Now, this is awesome. This is so good.
This is classic Creed.
Oh, I love it so much. Creed has spent the entire day selling off all this gear. He's made $1,200. And at the end of the day, he's telling everybody, we're going to Poor Richard's. Shots on me.
yeah. No,
Creed
I love
is...
it.
He's,
That's great.
Oh, he's the
No,
freaking
that's
man,
great.
dude.
I love it.
Fun uncle.
Yeah.
Fun uncle.
He's
The
he's the
Funkle.
Funkle.
That's right. So Phyllis is, she's saying, hey, Pam, we're all going to Poor Richard. Shots on Creed. Phyllis shares that Jim is going to be coming back. Like that Jim might be coming back.
Phyllis is excited to tell Pam this, by the way.
Indeed she is. She is playing a little bit of matchmaker here.
Mm-hmm.
Roy pops in and he lets Pam know, hey, I'm glad that it's not shutting down. I'm glad that you're still going to be working here. And we're seeing a very sort of like shy side of Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Roy expressing his feelings, trying to be vulnerable here. It's uncomfortable for him, but he's letting Pam know, like, I'm glad you're sticking around. Like, I get to hang out with you more. I'm happy about that. And Pam basically talks about, that she feels like now that she has a reason to stay. Jim, we find out, is going to take the job in Scranton. He tells Karen, earlier she's saying, I would take the job in Scranton. He's like, why would you do that? I don't know if I'm going to take it. New York is right here. Like, why? Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Jim has had a change of heart. He says, you know what? I am going to take that job in Scranton. And you know what? If they offer one, you should come too.
Extends the offer.
Yeah. So changes the tune.
This is what I was talking about earlier. When I was at the end of the episode, I was like, get out of here, Karen. Get out of here.
Well, she says, I don't know if he's into me, but I am into him. So there you go.
Boom.
Hate it.
So,
Karen Filipelli.
So Pam
Can't
is
wait
available.
to do that next episode.
Leave me at the message.
Avanza.
So Pam is single. She's had a connection with Jim. Jim is going to go back to Scranton.
Yeah.
Karen's probably coming too. Karen's into Jim. Jim's sort of making a little bit of a move that maybe he's into Karen as well. Oh,
I don't
baby.
think he knows what he wants at this point.
No, he's confused.
He doesn't know.
He's confused.
He has no idea.
Yeah.
He just knows he's not going to Staples.
That's right.
Right.
And then the last clip we have here, Michael and Dwight, they are at the CFO's house. It's been a long day. They're ready to give up.
Yep.
They're getting ready to leave when suddenly Dwight gets a message.
Oh, this was such a stupid idea. This was so stupid. I'm such a stupid idiot. I let everybody down. Everybody hates me.
Oh, Michael.
I lost everybody's jobs. Nobody likes me anymore. Oh my God. What?
Stanford is closed. Michael, we're not closed. Stanford is closed. Stanford is closed.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Right there. Right there.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
In your face.
To the CFO.
Oh, man. How did we do it? I don't understand.
So great.
How did we do it? I don't know.
I love the way that Dwight too's. Oh my God!
I love too that Michael, when he first hears it, he questioningly goes, "We did it," and then he breaks the third wall and looks at the camera and goes, "We did it!"
Yeah.
So Michael and Dwight, they don't know how, but they changed everybody's mind. It's done. And then our final clip before the episode ends, we cut back to Toby. Poor Tobes. He was thinking about selling his house, moving to Costa Rica, learning how to surf. But it's all right. Costa Rica will still be there.
Yeah.
When he's 65.
When he retires.
Dang it, Toby.
Costa Ricans.
Yeah.
Great people.
This
I've only been there once. It was really fun, though.
You been to Costa Rica?
Dude, it was so fun.
Oh, boo.
We went for our honeymoon.
Oh, nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
Excellent. I feel like
very nice people.
There could have been a spinoff here. If things would have changed and Scranton would have been the one to shut down, the spinoff is Toby, Stanley, the odd couple, Costa Rica. Get it? Like they're like they both retire. Yeah. They take the severance.
Stanley goes with Toby to Costa Rica.
Yes. Toby and Stanley go as two single bachelors living in Costa Rica.
They go to the beach surf towns.
Yeah, they're trying to live it up. Stanley's learning how to surf. Toby's learning how to surf.
Everybody's learning how to surf.
That's right. Pretzels all day, air day.
Yeah, I can get my pretzel whenever I want when I'm retired.
Right. That's right. Dang it. So that's the end of the episode there. That is Season 3, Episode 7, Branch Closing. And as always, we like to throw it out to you guys and hear what your favorite moments were and all that good stuff. So over on Instagram, Sparkling Eyes 04 said, Ryan's reaction in the irony that he just got his new business cards.
Yeah.
So funny.
1,000 business. I mean, at least it didn't go to waste, right? He's going to get to use them.
That's true.
It's good. True Jedi 48, Jim's message from future Dwight and Jan having to drive back and forth twice.
That part is actually really funny because it's so unnoticed that she was in the car for like 8 hours. That night.
Yeah, she was driving so much.
She was like 500 miles or something like that. And then some jerk on Instagram just sent us a message that said, when the pee-pee go poo-poo.
Who would have done that?
Oh, wait, user Caleb Polk.
Dude, I sent that to I showed my wife that I sent this into the podcast account before I came over here. She's like, you're literally 5 years old.
Yeah.
It's funny when the pee-pee go poop. Okay, I get it. I get it, guys. Nonsense. My humor's not for everybody. It's fun.
I'm down for it. It's fine. It's fine. And then over on Twitter, Merc with a movie blog. Thanks for joining us again, my friend. Creed selling off company equipment is a perfect snapshot of his character. He loves that part. We got Blake saying Dwight's knocking the coffee out of Stanley's hand is one of the best scenes from the entire series. I agree. I love that cold open so much. And then, as always, via Twitter.
Yes, I know who we're gonna say.
Let me hang on, let me turn on the voice. Via Twitter.
Yes.
Tried and true. At Tromboner Man.
Tromboner Man.
Michael and Dwight's jubilation when they hear that Stanford is being closed and their dumbfounded reaction when they didn't understand what they did to make it happen.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it?
What did we do? I have no idea. And then this is interesting. He actually added on a little thing here. So I think it's in reference to the scene where Michael is saying, we're screwed. This is the worst. And he has the meme of him biting his lip.
Yes.
So he put on here trivia. He said this scene was the first piece of video shown, and then Adam Jones, you're going to love this. Mm-hmm. First piece of video shown to demonstrate the original iPhone's ability to play video when introduced back in 2007.
Really?
Man, I've watched the original iPhone keynote several times, and I don't remember that, but I have no reason to question it.
I never watched
You're
those
the only
things.
person I know that's watched the original iPhone keynote multiple times.
That was groundbreaking.
We're literally on iPhone 11 now.
I will say, they could not have picked a better piece of media.
No, it's good.
They're kicking off the iPhone and showing the video capabilities, and they have a guy going, we're screwed. This is the worst.
This is the worst.
That's awesome. All right, and so now we're going to head over.
Yep.
Okay. Jim pulls a prank in this episode. So dang good. Okay. Now, just for reference, here's our top 3. Okay. In third place, we have season 2, episode 5, the Halloween episode. Jim and Pam post Dwight's resume. 23 Shroot Bucks out of 30. Okay. Season 2, episode 11, Booze Cruise, Dwight's vending machine. This is Jim puts all of his stuff into the vending machine and then gives him a bag of nickels to buy it all out. 25
Such a good one.
Shroot Bucks. And then finally, in first place, and I mean, unopposed for a while, season 2, episode 6, The Fight. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom, aka poop desk. 26 out of 30. Today, gentlemen, we have the grave task of rating season 3, episode 7, branch closing. Dwight faxes himself from the future. Now, just to remind you, each of us can give a score between 0 and 10.
Yep.
For a total of maximum of 30. You can also use a decimal point. Okay, so
Oh, baby.
0.5, 0.6, 0.7, all of that works. I would love to hear from you, taking into account everything that went into this prank. The forethought, the execution, the aftermath.
Yeah.
What rating, 0 out of 10, actually 1 out of 10, what do you give this prank and why? Please justify. Let's do this.
You want to go first?
Adam Jones.
I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
Oh, man. That makes me think I should rethink my score.
A 6?
Yeah,
Adam Jones, explain yourself.
That's a D on a test.
No. Well, okay, sort of. I just, my opinion is it's funny, but I think there's better out there.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
I see Rob's in here already.
I have already placed my score. I will reveal it after Caleb Polk.
All right. This one for me. There's a couple of things I'm factoring in for this one.
Okay.
Forethought for sure.
Sure.
All right. Also, the intricacy and attention to detail to know that it's a normal Tuesday morning. Whatever. I'm gonna get to the office early so that I can fax Dwight.
Exactly.
This these are the unseen hours, people.
That's right.
These are what makes this company great.
He's putting in the work.
And he is getting to the office early. He's dialed in.
First in,
zoned
last out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of forethought that goes into this.
Absolutely.
And I love it.
On his way out of Scranton, he said, you know what? I'm going to get some of Dwight's
Like
letterhead.
not having any idea what he would do with it in the future, right? So for me, this one's a solid 8 out of 10.
All right.
8 out of 10. 80%.
Okay. I am going to generously give Dwight faxes himself in the future a 9.5.
Wow.
9.5.
This
That's pretty good.
is
Almost a perfect score.
I love the forethought that went into this. I love the creativity, but I also love the aftermath. I love that it caused Dwight to slap coffee out of the hand of the most dangerous man in the office.
Yes, that's true.
And he was a hero for it. I
He
love
was.
it so much. So
You'll
I'm going to give it a
thank me
9.5.
later.
That's right. So I am pleased to say that a 6, an 8, and a 9.5 is going to put it 23.5.
Whoa.
It's going to put it in third place. It's going to
third place.
dethrone Jim and Pam post Dwight's resume and put it in a nice solid third place right there.
I think that's good.
Thank you.
It's warranted.
There you go. There you go. So your top 3, third place, Dwight faxes himself from the future. Second place, Dwight's vending machine. Still first place. Solid 26. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom.
There's one coming later that I think has the potential to dethrone Poop Desk.
Oh, really?
But we're going to wait a bit on that one for sure.
I can't wait. And then last but not least, we want to head over to that good Dunder Mifflin subreddit and take a look at some quality content. Now, fellas, as always, I sorted by new.
Yep.
And I'm pleased to say that this went up 8 hours ago. It did not have this at the time. It is now at 335 upvotes, 7 comments. And I give to you the title. And as always, you can head over to the show notes in your podcast player, click on the link that says Dundie Winner, and you will be looking at this post titled I Chuckled. Now, it's a picture of the Chef Boyardee.
This is great.
Label. But instead of Chef Boyardee, they photoshopped Stanley's face onto it, and it says, Chef Boy, have you lost your mind?
Have you lost your mind?
I'll help you find it.
I'll help you find it. Ain't nobody gonna help you
Jesus
out there.
can get the first comment.
I love that.
Jesus can come through the door and he ain't gonna help you find it.
So user, what is this? Madiolica?
Yeah.
Madiolica.
Madiolica. Well
Madiolica.
done. Yeah, you're gonna get a Dundee. So head over there, let them know.
Way to go.
Beautiful, Chef Boy. Have you lost your mind?
Boom.
I love it so much. I lolled. I LOL'd.
I lolled.
Lolled.
Is that what the kids say now? Do they say lolled?
I think it's like a way of
I
like...
raffled.
I raffled.
Yeah.
Yep. Took a ride on that raffle copter.
Yeah, we're the raffle copter.
Oh, baby. Awesome. Well, hey, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening and supporting the show. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, and let's head over to Patreon, patreon.com/inofficepod. Like I said, $3 a month. You get to check out that after party at Poor Richard's. Tonight we're talking about, in honor of Scranton possibly shutting down, we're talking about last days of work / last days of school.
You got to get in on it.
And,
yeah, that's a good one.
The Duke, John Wayne. A great
John Wayne
story.
Several appearances.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's great stuff. So, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Now, your homework this week, as always, head over, make sure you watch Season 3, Episode 8, affectionately titled, and you can tell that I am stalling, it is The Merger.
The merger.
It says, with Stanford's employees joining the Scranton team, reuniting Pam and Jim, Michael tries to impress everyone with a special welcome video.
Scranton, what?
The Electric City.
Scranton, what?
The Electric City.
Yeah.
Such a classic.
It's going to be so good. So make sure you go watch Season 3, Episode 8, The Merger. And also go buy a can of Chef Boyardee.
Yeah. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Little ravioli action.
That's right. And until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
I'm Caleb.
And this was Everybody in the Conference Room. All right, let's head over to Poor Richard's.